Hello. So I'm going to break down the trade I'm currently in, which is USDCAD. I'm taking this off the daily and the weekly time frame. Support and resistance, very easy to understand setup. Like with all my trades, it's easy to understand. It's not so complicated, but you need to do it over and over. It's a marathon, and you can't risk too much on each trade because it's a game of probability. The probability says that if you, or in this case, if I take enough of this kind of setups, then more of them will win than losing. Because of that, I'm consistently growing my account. If I'm risking too much of my account, then maybe for a week or a month or a few months or for quite some time, maybe I will be profitable and make a lot of money. But then I also have the risk of actually blowing the account, and in that case I would need to start all over again from the beginning, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to lose my capital. So this is just a reminder. I'm risking 2% of my account, which I think is a good, safe amount to risk with these kind of setups. The setups is a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Some people think it's too little. I don't think so, because you actually hit more of the trades actually hit the target, which is the whole point of trading. So that's how you actually grow your account and become consistently profitable and eventually also get rich. So it's a gradual process. Of course, if you have a bigger account, then you will make more. But this is simple. What I'm showing you here is simple to understand, simple to execute. So anyway, I'm just going to show you the setup. So this is the setup. Let me show you. Yeah, here we go. Like you can see, I'm on daily chart. Let's assume this zone isn't here. Okay, so this is a big point where when price comes up here, it reacts strongly from this point. Same thing when price comes down here, it reacts from this point. Same thing here, it reacts, it goes down, here it reacts, it goes down, it reacts, here it reacts. So basically, if I were to just draw like a box here or a zone here, and this doesn't work like on the smaller time frames, like 15 minutes or whatever. It doesn't hold as strong as the daily zones hold stronger, especially when it has big reactions like this. This is quite big. So for me, that's, since all kind of trading is the game of probability, I would assume that when price comes up here, it's going to start to react and go in the opposite direction. So what I do before price gets up here, let's say this is the candle or this is the candle, I draw out this zone and then I right click here in the middle and I add an alert. Now I have an alert which is in the middle of the zone, and when it comes up to the alert, then I get notified on my phone and I know like, okay, it's in the middle of the zone. So that would happen like right here. I then expect this to start at some point start to react, because it happened here again, it happened here, and it happened here, and it happened here. So if this is candle, then I expect it to happen today or tomorrow. This is a representing one day. So all I do is really wait for it to come up and then start to reject. I could take it immediately as well, but I like to see that it actually starts to reject. And that's what it did here. It started to reject. The day closed, and actually I opened it about here, I think, on this day. So what actually happened here was that price went up again within that day. It almost hit the stop, not fully, and then now it's going into profit. And since this is not such a big move, it's likely to hit the profit within probably today. It could have hit the stop loss, but it didn't. But yeah, that's basically it. I want to show you on the weekly as well. This is a big reaction on the weekly, which means that this analysis is even stronger. This is a very little move for it to happen to come back to my profit target. And like I said, it could have hit the stop loss. It didn't. So more often than not, in a zone like this on the daily and the weekly here, you can see weekly here, on a zone like this, it's more likely to go down than up. And that's about it. So all you do is you wait till you come to the center, and then in this case you open a short position USDCAD on the daily. You can even wait for the 1 hour. It doesn't really matter. When you see that it starts to reject like it did here, I could have waited for longer, but it could have just gone down here as well. So about here I entered for a risk to reward of 1-to-1. I use MT5, and let me show you. So this is how it looks like in MT5. The position. So whatever account amount you have, risk about 2% every time. If it's a really good setup, maybe a little bit more, maybe even double, but to be honest, it's good to just stick to the same percentage every time and be persistent. And I don't trade prop firms because they have so many rules. What I do is just have an account, like I make money with my day job, put it into the trading account. Eventually the trading account starts to take over, and I can live from that instead of the day job. So I recommend starting maybe with $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. Obviously, when you, for example, $5,000, you would risk, 2% of 5,000, you would risk like $100. If you have $10,000 on your account, you would risk $200. But this adds up when you can take several trades a week. The wins starts to add up, your account grows, you add in with your personal capital as well. And when you don't risk too much, you don't risk the possibility of blowing your account. So over time it gets better and better. Anyway, it's about to hit profit. It's about to hit the target right here. I'm going to show you. Came up here, started to reject, and now it's more than halfway, 2/3 of the way down to the target, and it's likely going to hit the target today or tomorrow. So that's it. There you have it, USDCAD analysis. Hello people, so we're back. I'm just going to show you what happened to the USDCAD trade I took the other day. And yes, it did hit the profit target, and I got some good profit out of it. So I'm just going to jump over to the screen. USDCAD, that was the pair. We were on the daily chart, and I were predicting, since it got down here, it reacted here, it reacted here, mainly those 3 points of reaction. On the daily chart and then on the weekly chart as well, you can see it had a strong reaction, especially here. You had a reaction here up as well, but this one was closer to price. So mainly on the weekly, we're looking at this reaction here. And when price came up, we thought it would bounce from there and go down. And that's actually exactly what it did. Again, I took the trade here around when it starts to reject. The wick means that price went up, but then within the same day price went down again. You can look at the smaller charts. We're not going to do that, or on the 1 hour chart. We're not going to do that now. But it started to reject, and that was my entry signal. So from there, I entered a 1-to-1 with the risk to reward of 1-to-1, yeah, and then basically put the reward not too far away, and then the risk was just above the wick here. So anyway, this was a good profit. What's actually going to happen now? It barely made it to the profit target. I don't know, maybe it will go down from here, maybe it will continue to go up, I don't know. And to be honest, maybe I was a little bit lucky on this trade. It might as well could have just gone straight to the stop loss, and I would have had the loss. Had it almost hit the target, but it didn't hit the target, and then started to go backwards, then maybe I would probably close it before it was a break even. So I would probably close it in a small profit. But anyway, this is a 1-to-1 risk reward. You can see that they often hit because they are quite small, and because the levels on the daily and the weekly are usually quite strong compared to the smaller time frames. I don't even have the smaller time frames here, but yeah, a good win here. USDCAD daily chart. Okay, alrighty, see you next time.